As risk is being felt throughout the economy, you better believe banks, credit unions, credit card companies, anyone that extends credit is taking a look at their situation saying, what adjustments should we make so that we're protected as a business? That's going to impact you. I'm going to tell you the updates here in just a second. This is your next Wise Step video for today. Thanks for being here. My name is Mike Bernard. I am the host of the Wise Money Show. Also one of the certified financial planners and owners right here at Korhorn Financial Group. If you're not a subscriber, make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, smash that thumbs up button. Every single business day, I'm coming to you with a daily update and a daily next Wise Step, some action that you need to take, getting you forward momentum in your finances. Today, I am alarmed by these changes going on with credit. Now, I understand it. We haven't faced credit risk like this since the real estate crisis in 2008. And of course, at that time, banks went through and scrutinized all their practices to say, hey, folks with this credit score, or you need this credit score to get a good mortgage, and we're only going to extend credit to people with this going on in their financial life. They made their lending practices much more conservative because they needed to survive. We're starting to see the same thing happen right now. I've got some very specific action items that you need to take in your financial life. The first one is the most alarming, and I didn't experience this myself. I'm going to credit it to another YouTube poster, JJ the CPA. His channel is all about helping small businesses and directing small businesses on the tedious things that has to go on with your accounting. So it's pretty granular, but he had a video a couple weeks ago where he was actually sharing what happened to him personally, and I'm passing it on to you along with an action item. He had an American Express credit card that apparently he had achieved no limit. So no limit, had a lot of credit with him, and had a credit card with no limit on it. And sure enough, he got a notice a couple weeks ago that said, hey, whatever your balance was on your last statement, that's now your limit. So he had a credit card with no limit on it, and just like that, they came out and said, oh, by the way, whatever your balance was on your last statement, that's now your new limit, because we've got to limit how much credit we're exposed to out there in a tough economy like this. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? And then, as you know, your credit score is impacted based on how much credit is extended to you compared to your limit. So if your limit is now this and your balance is this, that's going to start hurting your credit score. What if your limit is this and your balance is now this? Your credit score is going to be harmed by that. So that's your very first action item. I haven't seen that personally, but you need to log into whatever credit cards that you're using. You need to log in right now or check your last statement and look and say, what is my credit limit? If it's changed, well, number one, don't be surprised if they lower it or it's changed. But if it has, you need to call them and figure out why and what's going on. Because second, we've heard last week that big lenders are starting to get more conservative in their lending practices. What does this mean? In order to get a mortgage from them, you need to have a better credit score. And they've even said, in order to get a mortgage, you might need to have more equity. You might need to put more money down. So let me connect these two dots here. Because we're going through the worst economy since the Great Depression, your financial reputation, your credit is more important now than ever. Okay? And they're potentially, your existing lines of credit, they might be doing things that all of a sudden could harm your score and make it harder for you to get a mortgage, harder for you to refinance. So the first action item, first next wise step that you need to take right now is check your current credit limits, make sure that you're in a healthy position. Second, if you need to refinance, you should. I've done several videos about that. Talk to your certified financial planner. See if you should look at refinancing, and if you do, if you should refinance, make sure you've got a strong credit score and make sure you've got strong equity. If you don't, if you're hearing me say this and say, I already knew my credit score needed to be improved a little bit, or I already know I need to be working on the equity that I have in my house, or building up a cash for the down payment for the house that I want to buy, talk to your certified financial planner and get an action plan going for that to improve your credit, okay? The third thing that I would tell you to do, if you haven't checked your credit report, not score, your credit report, if you haven't checked it recently, let's say within the past year, you need to do that as well. I check, for my wife and I check our credit report once a year to make sure everything's accurate, make sure there's not fraudulent activity. I don't care about the score. My credit card companies, I've got a couple different credit cards, they tell me what my score is. I'm not gonna pay the extra $14.95 or $7.95 or whatever it is through the reporting agencies to try and get my score. I've heard those aren't even reliable anyway. But getting your actual report is reliable directly from each of the 3 carriers, and take a look, make sure everything's spelled correctly, make sure everything looks correct, and fix any problems. That's your 3rd step right now. Guys, I hope we're on the other side of this coronavirus thing. We don't see another flash. Certainly with the stock market, the way that it's behaved, Wall Street believes that brighter days are ahead. We don't know how long we're slugging through this thing. Make sure you've got a strong financial reputation. That is your credit. Watch out for your credit limit being reduced. Make sure you're not in the danger zone there. Look at refinancing if you should, and know that there could be greater scrutiny from some of the banks, and look at your credit report to make sure everything's up to snuff. All right, you're now ready. Go out and take your next wise step in your financial life.